Hey everybody, we bombed out of another draft at 2 and 3, so there's time to at least start another one here today. I'm going to draft, and I'll draft and play one game at least, and then we'll see what time we have from there. But this is likely going to be one of those incomplete drafts. So YouTube viewers, if you're in this for seeing a draft all the way through to the end, you probably won't see all the games in this one, but we'll definitely get a draft and a game in. And a lot of people just like the draft anyway, so we'll start there. And I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom, before we jump in. They are purveyors of all the physical Magic gear you could possibly need for your tabletop game, whether it's supplies, singles, sealed product, etc. And they have an amazing buy list price, and the buy list prices are great, and they give you store credit, a 30% bonus of store credit if you choose store credit, making it nice and easy to convert your old stuff to the new stuff you want. And as I always say, the reliability of Card Kingdom is amazing. You're going to get what you expect out of your orders there. So please give them a shot. And if you do so through the panel down below or the link in my YouTube videos, they know you got there from me, and that's really helpful to my stream and my future sponsorship opportunities with Card Kingdom. So if you buy cards anyway, you can do so through my link, and it really helps the stream out. So I want to encourage you to do that before we jump in and see what Pack 1 Pick 1 offers us. Sundering Stroke is a pretty fine place to start. We don't need to rare draft. This is the paid account, so we're not trying to eke out a gem advantage in our EV. We should just take the card we think is best for our win percentage, which still might be Sundering Stroke, although red is falling in my estimation in the set. It's maybe even worse than white right now in terms of the decks I've found that none of it's unplayable, but anyway, red is not exactly where I want to be, but it's also imminently splashable. Mono red, it gets even better, but I think you generally just think of this as a very splashable 7-drop that is pretty powerful. I want to take a second though to speak to Peanuts GG, who says, I am new to MTGA and am still leery to dump much money into it since I would have no value in the cards once they start cycling out of standard. Yeah, you just have to decide whether this is worth it for you. It doesn't, even if you're a predominantly paper player, if you're trying to get a lot of reps in and trying to practice for competitive constructed, I think you're going to be happy to invest a little money into Arena to meet those goals. And if you're a heavy limited player, well, just keep playing for free and draft as much as you can and take what you can get. Yeah, Deathless, as we saw, we had it in our last deck, and it's a good card. But I think Sundering Stroke is good enough here. There's a Secret Keeper. I always try to take a note of those when I see them. There's the Spinning Wheel. I don't know, nothing here leaps out as being amazing. I almost want to take the Trebuchet and lean into the Stroke. We passed a Trebuchet in pack 1 that might wheel. Yeah, you can take Keeper and cut blue for that kind of hookup. I'm a little down on taking the wheel to stay open just because I feel like the wheel is pretty clunky, although certainly helps both ramp 2 and splash a Sundering Stroke, so we could play just about anything else. Yeah, I'm not married to the Stroke. We shouldn't marry the Stroke. You're right. If we look at it this way, what would your pick be? I don't think it's Reaper. It's not Funeral. I don't like the Resolute Rider. I don't like the Pixie because I'm not super into green blue. Then we do end up looking at but that's the thing. So a Trebuchet becomes not a bad pick here, but maybe we just take the Secret Keeper. I think Secret Keeper is the best card here, honestly. Resolute Rider asks a lot of you. I've not been impressed with this card. Maybe I'm undervaluing it, but I'm going to take Keeper. It might wheel, but I think it's the best card in that pack. So I'm not going to marry either of these cards. Let's figure out what's best here. Glass Casket is solid. Tactician Tactician often wheels. We can go didn't say please and continue cutting the blue, though. Tactician might be the best card in the pack, but didn't say please might be the best tactic in the pack. Further cutting the blue. Yeah, and then we could potentially wheel the thrill. All right, I'm gonna didn't say please. Merchant of the Veil, or Opt, or Thrill. There's another Thrill, but I think we just take Merchant here. Yeah, we can take Opt to continue to cut the blue. But I think I like Merchant better. And we're not even necessarily mill. We could go in multiple directions here. It's pack 1, pick 4. If we think, if you want to go green-white adventures, we could still go into it. We could take the Pathlighter and you know. But I still think with where we're at, I like the Merchant. I'm going to take Merchant. More evidence of the green-white adventure deck that could have been. It's drafting. What are you going to do? Blue is completely dried up. We can abandon all 4 of these picks. Go ahead and take the Shepherd and see what happens. Yeah. Once in future, Flutterfox. What are you talking about, Mike? Yeah, now this is getting funky. Now I don't know what exactly we're doing. We could take Shepherd. If we take Shepherd, one thing it does is set up a possible blue, like this actually works with keepers, returning a target permanent you control. Yeah, we can do black-blue control. Man, this is a tough one. Some support for Reaper. I think specking on the Shepherd is fair with what the white we've seen. We might wheel the Tactician. Again, white is so undervalued by bots that I think it's a reasonable spec on Shepherd. And here you go with that. We have Griffin or a Squire here. And there's an Opt and an Egg. We can take an Egg and stay pretty open. But I think given the Shepherd pick, we should probably just take Squire or Griffin over the Egg. And yeah, Griffin has been pretty strong. I'll pull this one. Griffin, Squire, Egg, other. Oop, I didn't add a time. Hold on. Potato. Screwed up my poll again, sorry. You could argue for Opt. I don't think we could take... Maybe you could argue for Curious Pair, but... Almost curious if there's any other votes here. Griffin, Egg, Squire. That's about how I had it, which is Griffin a little bit ahead with these two being pretty close. All right. Red, white, and blue brewing here. I guess we take a runaway together over what? Like, I don't think we want to add a 4th color at this point, so it should be runaway together or Paladin. And Paladin is just kind of whatever, even if we are white. So let's take Runaway together. So tiny. Yep. We're going to grab this. pretty yucky here. We can take a Silver Flame Ritual. Yeah, blue-white what? Blue-white, what the heck are we doing? We can still get to flying from here. We don't need to... It doesn't need to be a mill deck per se. I don't think we take Jousting Dummy though, so we'll take a Ritual. Yeah, Dummy's all right, but I don't want Dummy here. Although you make a point, like Dummy could go into any deck we come up with. But if we end up blue-white flyers, I think we'll be happy with a Ritual. All right, a lot of that white we saw, I think this was the pack that had a lot of white that we were thinking might wheel, and it's not. So this is kind of stinky. Hopefully you see cards in the colors you're in pick 10, but we don't here. But we can take Hengewalker if we end up heavy white or heavy blue. Puppet doesn't seem particularly playable, so let's take the Dummy. Nice knocker. Not really that playable, actually, but we'll take it. And Brute, I guess. Well, this has been a disaster so far. Witch's Vengeance doesn't really bail us out of the disaster either. Trapped in the Tower, pretty good for white. Although again, we didn't really see white. We could take Charmed Sleep under the assumption that we successfully cut blue. What if we are not? Well, God, we just might be though. I don't want to take the rare. We're not in black, and this is the paid account, so we're not even worried about gems. I think it's Charmed Sleep or Trapped in the Tower, depending on... Yeah, blue-red is possible, but I don't... Let's see. Yeah, we might still be on blue-red to the point that the dragon spec is worth it. But I think we're closing in on, like, definitely being blue. Well, because I think red blue is our least likely color pair from these three options. Yeah, we don't have any draw 2 payoffs yet. And this is just straight removal, which is really tempting. I'm going to take Charmed Sleep. All right, we don't really have the tools for the owl yet, but this makes me want to take this, try to wheel the paladin and be blue-white. We get Charmed Sleep, Jousting Dummy, So Tiny, Hengewalker off it right now. Yeah, Sage is interesting. We don't really have the payoffs, but it's still a fine card. But yeah, I think a 3/3 flyer for 4 is just fine anyway. I'm going to take the owl. I've never actually played it before. Flutterfox jumped out at me, but Tome Raider continues to keep us just blue, and we can figure out... Heck, we might even be mono blue at this point. Sage is a great card, no question about it, but I decided to lean into the kind of aggro direction we're showing a little bit here. These are both helpful for that, but I think I do like the Raider here. I think, yeah, it's Flutterfox or Raider, right? It's just that we are heavy blue, and so I'm a little worried about a white 2-drop. I'm going to take Raider. Here's a dragon we can consider again. A Slaying Fire. Wow. Now what, folks? The floor is so great on Raider. The floor is excellent. Which is to say, 1/1 flyer cycle for 3 is so solid at its base. There's another shot at the dragon. Yeah, Cauldron is an interesting suggestion. We just want this pack. If I could scoop up this pack, I'd commit to red-white. I mean, red-blue. Land, not good enough here. I don't know if we're off red. If we go with red, we can't really play the owl. Might just want the vision. Let's put this stuff where it belongs, though. I think I'll pull this one. This is close enough. Because this is a pretty big decision point. We have fire. We have dragon. We have vision. If you think we should take well over vision, just vote for vision. I didn't put Cauldron in either, but if you want to vote Cauldron, just vote Cauldron and I'll manually consider it. Couple more late votes for vision. That's kind of where I was leaning because we know for sure we're blue. But if we're mono blue, you could make an argument that vision is more important for the deck than even the random 3-2. It wasn't the winning, but I think I'm going to take the vision. I don't think I did. I took the vision. Paladin, more reward for being so heavy blue. Another silver flame that might wheel. Turn into a pumpkin is great, though. Kind of want these paladins with where we're headed, but hard to pass up interaction. What do we got here? Pretty good scavengers. We also want to keep in mind this owl and find other artifacts and enchantments to support with it. I don't see any white here I want to take over the scavenger, so we'll do that. Shine Chaser, but also a Charm Sleep? Might be in the right place, but I don't know if we're a Shine Chaser or not. I think we're probably done with red. Yeah, let's just take sleep. It's more find stuff, more to find with the owl, and we could still end up mono blue with the way this draft is going now. Although here's a choice. Pathlighter, Adventure. We have Keeper, Shepherd, and that's basically it, right? Yeah, a lot of mixed signals. I don't think we take Opt here, though, so we should figure out what of these white cards we think is the most important. Probably just Fairy Guidemother. And we could Opt, but man, I guess that helps us just have the spell count to try and potentially be mono. It's just, it's low impact. It's not good or bad. It just kind of is. Yeah, Windrake as a floor here might be fine. Except we are stacking our 3s pretty heavily. I don't know about Hengewalker, though. Yeah, I still think white is an option. But in a 12-5 kind of way. And I guess given that, we'll Opt. Sanctuary here. All right, this is a great sign. Paladin coming back. Fox came back. There's another Opt, but I think I will take the Fox here. I think we're going to be heavy blue and not play the Fox, but I think hedging towards it is worth it over another Opt. All right, Witching Well comes back. Another Sanctuary comes back. We're going to take Witching Well, though. Mirror Maid, it's a blue rare. We're not rare drafting, though, so we only want to take this if we think it matters. That's probably good. We can have it enter as a copy of Owl and go look for other stuff, or copy a Charm Sleep and Tactician is better, but I don't think we're heavy white. Well, let's look at what it can copy. Again, we're not worried about gems, so this is purely a value pick. We can copy a Witching Well. It's so tiny. A Ginger Brute, but I don't think I'm not even gonna count that. I don't think we're playing it. Maybe a Jousting Dummy is a little more likely. Henge Walker, 2 Charm Sleeps. The Owl itself. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah. When something enters the battlefield as a copy, you can think of it almost as turning into that card on the stack. So I'm going to take it. I think we have enough, and we may get another. Ooh, how about copying a Midnight Clock? Love a lot of the blue here, but we're going to snap up the clock. Hey, Animating Fairy, not bad, especially if we wheel another Witching Well. There's another Charm Sleep, though. Are you on Fairy? We really only have Well number 1 as a strongly desired Fairy target. There's also Cauldron. Having some hard, damage-based removal is not bad. We might pick up eggs. I don't know if we will. Yeah, we can animate the clock. That's true. Of course, then it sets them up to be able to kill our clock. All right, I'll take the Fairy, but I'm it's a little sketchy. It's a little greedy, I think. What we got here? Hippie Sprite. Frogify is findable with and copyable, but it's not that great. I just like the Sprite. Let's take Sprite. Another Animating Fairy. All right. Well, we can also take Thunderous Snapper as a 4/4 for 4 in this deck, basically. But I think another Animating Fairy makes some sense, and then we can prioritize any eggs that come late. We'll see. We'll take another one and try to make it work here. Here I like the Paladin, though. Another Scavenger would be good, but let's Paladin here. We can take this and animate it. That seems like trying to use good cards to take a bad card and make it better. Though, not sure that's how we want to do it, and probably just want a Raider. I think we're going to try and be mono. I think we're mono blue. Like, maybe splash a Ritual. But I think we're actually closing in on a deck that looks more like this. I mean, cut the Ritual and we have 23 cards right now. Oh, I guess we have a land, but... So I'd be thinking more in terms of mono-coloredness. Yeah, that's the thing. We can splash Sundering Stroke instead. Griffin's okay. We don't have a ton of, we only have this and 5. Yeah, maybe this is fine. We're pretty stacked at 3. I'm down with Griffin here. Charm Sleep came, oh, this is, I said came back, but it has not come back, but we get another one. The Witching Well did come back, which is great for our animating fairies. And the Hypnotic Sprite came back and is so tiny. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. What do you probably just need another sprite, right? I don't think we have so tiny and 3 sleeps. Let's take that. And it didn't say. Well, look, we cut blue and it worked. Now what do we I don't even know what we take here. I guess Queen of Ice as maybe a little better than the Raider. Something to do on the ground, freeze up the ground a bit. All right, let's do this. Yeah, we'll take the Queen here. Think of her as a 2. Yeah, we don't even want the Secret Keeper now. Look at that. Mono blue, no mill. Hey, Jay. Jay is ready to go, but encourages us to play a little bit here, so we will. Even got a last pick playable. Like, this deck suddenly got nuts. But it kind of just makes me want to do this and not worry about splashing. We didn't get any tools to splash, so we'd be doing it off of basics. And I think we just want to lean into the mononess of this and figure out what our worst 5 cards are. Could cut Jousting Dummy. Yeah, I guess we can cut a dummy. This is where, see, we're probably cutting the opt. Just doesn't do enough. Cut the Midnight Clock. No, we're not cutting Midnight Clock. You want to cut the Tiny, huh? Don't think it's as good? Yeah, I think we can cut 1 Scavenger. That's fair, although... Well, we have 2 Didn't Say Please for the -6 mode. Yeah, I'm down with cutting Queen. Where does that put us here? 12, 13. Cut a Tiny. I think I like, well, if we questions, do we want to cut more creatures? We're at 12. If we cut a Hengewalker, we go to 11. It's a reasonable, easy to cast ground dude. Ooh, you want to cut the Griffin, huh? I guess we're not drawing much. We draw here. We draw here, but we're not, we draw here. We're drawing a few times, Mike. But I don't think I want to cut a Please. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Mike on this one. And those of you who agree with him, I think this looks good. And what are we animating? We're animating 2 Witching Wells and the clock. And the fallback of a 2/2 flyer for 3 is okay. I think I want to keep the islands. We have a lot. If we're keeping both scavengers and given the vision and stuff, I think I want to keep all the island. I think I like this for a start, and we'll call this Clonkum. Maybe that's too spoilery. Let's do this. Oh, I want to capture it though. Yeah, clock is ramp. Good point. If you're suggesting we can cut a land because of clock, that's fair. But I still just, I don't know. I'm on the edge. Yeah, noting that the clock adds mana is an argument for dropping an island. What would we add? We could add back Queen or the Griffin or even a So Tiny or an Opt or whatever. But I think I like trying here. I'm going to start with this. Blitz Freeman says, I've recently started playing MTG, but this game crushes me. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two. I hope so. One of the things you'll learn here is how limited is the best way to play Magic. And hopefully you'll get a tip or two on how to get more wins than you're getting now. I think we keep this and are willing to just drop a Sprite and a Fairy and Paladin. You know, just curve out, not worry about the adventure side of these. If I cut a land, I think I want to cut one of those 6 drops and put 2 things in or something, though. This isn't doing much yet, but there's got a lot of targets in the deck. A lot of targets. All right. This is also weirdly just okay in the non-Secret Keeper deck. Still running it, but it's funny. It's not that great. Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar. Mama, thank you for gifting that sub to Blitz Freeman. Very kind of you. Really want another land off the top. In fact, next 2 turns in a row would be nice to get a land off the top. No land for us. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer in our curve out with flyers plan. If they go to kill the Sprite, though, we'll probably save it, because then at least we have a counterspell to come back to. Right on, Blitz. Stick with it, and you'll be a lifelong player. Whoa. Gifter Leader 1. No kidding. That describes you well, Mama. All right. Island. Yes. We can do something. Aha! I noticed the pause, but when a Gingerbrew is out, the pause can just be the Gingerbrew activation, so hard to know. Beanstalk. Solid. We'll hopefully save it didn't say please for the creature side of this. And this is not a deck that cares too much about a Foulmire Knight. Oh, I didn't notice. I was only thinking about our own stuff, but Mirror Maid does capo. It copies Oppo. Yeah, we can just hold up please here. Well, they used up all their mana and we had a 2/2, so they couldn't make it unblockable without disrupting their use all our mana plan, develop the board plan. So yeah, I like didn't say please up here. That's fine. Yeah, I think Mike is right, and it makes me not like having left up this didn't say please, because now I feel compelled to use it. And if they... Because now they're going to get a land. Did they play a land this turn? They did, didn't they? Okay, we can wait then. Oh, they... Oh, sorry, I was wrong. I wish there was a played land or not. But now we have to hold the please again for the giant next turn. They have a lot of food. Their virtual life is 18 if you think of the Ginger Brutes as 3 life. Well, now we're going to pass with it up and hopefully look like we're just mana screwed and not holding didn't say please. Although if they're paying attention, they know we have something because we've paused so much with open mana. We'll counter whatever they do and have a didn't say please backup plan. That's what we're expecting. Get rid of that. Revenge of Ravens there would have been annoying. Now I'm just going to try to press our big flyer advantage, though. Now that we countered their huge thing. They got 8 mana and a fistful, though. Pretty good, but we can sack the goats here. 3 life is so much. But now they got to eat a brute, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to keep up the brute. And now we have didn't say please run away together, so that's amazing. And we should be good from here. Just got to bounce this before I am put to the... Well, actually, we can just let it attack and bounce it mid-combat, right? That's fine. Doesn't even matter. We don't even need to wait for combat step, right? They can just attack with the troll and we can bounce it. It didn't even give us the stop. That's actually something maybe to note, like I didn't get an automated ability to do that, so you have to do that during their main phase, which is also not stopped. So anyway, we're gonna let him attack. Yeah, it's very Legion Warbossy, right? I should make a note of that and suggest that to Mr. Parker they do something about it. Clackbridge has a Warboss problem. Oh, I want him to recast it. We have the didn't say please. Doesn't even matter, right? Yep. Because we'll counter whatever they try and fork with that. Yeah, Blitz Freeman, to give you a little context about this stream. So, I love music. I have my music brain runs deep, and so one of the things that happens to me as a Magic player is that various cards just trigger songs in my head, and I'm a big Public Enemy fan, and when the Burglar Rat was released, it kept making me think of this one line from a Public Enemy song, and so we made this. My son, my soon-to-be 17-year-old son, made this meme for me so that whenever anybody played a rat burglar, we fired this off. Some say I never heard of ya, a rat burglar. And that started a tradition of making memes around here, and and that was such a popular meme that it became our theme, and so we have a rat sub theme on this stream because of that meme. Yeah, I bet Chuck D would give me clearance to use that, right? But also, I promise this weekend I'm going to dig deep into legal stuff and see if my memes are within fair use, and if they are, we'll keep them flowing. Hey, Tron. Well, Tron was we were one of Tron's victims in their 7-0 run, but nice work. Right. I mean, what... The only reason Chuck D wouldn't approve my sample is if it's too small for him to even see. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have time to clear that sample. but I doubt Chuck D would find. I would like to think that Chuck D would find our meme hilarious. Maybe I'll clip it and I follow him on Twitter and he tweets all the time. Maybe I'll tweet at him and see if he likes it. It's a sampling sport. I didn't know that quote, but that's a good one. Yeah. Just as a side note on that sample, like, Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys is one of my all-time favorite albums, and it's not an album that can or will ever exist again, right? It existed in this space of like, sampling is in a gray area. Let's put 500 of them in one album. Oh yeah, we're all different on here. We're on let's see. The account is paid, and the format, although this is all going to change. I should probably Jay, are you down? Can I do one more game, Jay, and then we'll do some standard? All right, Jay's down for one more game, so I'm going to play one more game with this draft deck, and then we're going to play some standard, okay? The history of Paul's Boutique is really interesting if you're a fan of the album too, because they the samples that are used in that were the beats and everything were pulled before the Beastie Boys even heard it. It was like was it the Dust Brothers? I think the Dust Brothers built that sample base, but everybody thought they were too thick to rap over. Like there was too much going on in the samples for you to possibly rap over them, so they were kind of abandoning them. And then the Beastie Boys were like, "Now we can do it. Let's do this," and they sure did. Yes, go. There should be. Because I have such a great chat. I don't think I have links blocked. Especially if you're, yeah, should just work. But thanks for asking. What kind of decks are good in standard right now? Well, there's this one deck where if you start with a anyway. Oh yeah, you got. Oh, and now the ... messed you up. Try one more time, GFC. Well, that's a great question, Blitz. And after this game, we're going to bring on our friend Jay Schneider to talk about exactly that. Right now, Oko Food is your main standard villain, but we'll talk about that with Jay right after this game. Sad that we're not doing anything till 3, but I didn't feel I could mulligan this. And sad to not have anything to animate yet, but we're not going to wait on that either. Just gonna keep the pain train going here. Yeah, Oko is no joko. I mean, turn 2 Oko is where the real problem is. Tall as a beanstalk, you say? Well, we got a plan. We got a plan for that. Although there's an argument for even holding up the didn't say here, but now we'll do it. This gives us a bounce. By playing the charm, we have an enchantment in play that activates the scavengers for next turn. Although I'd say this is a 1-for-1. The Tome Raider got their card back. Wow, they spent their turn activating there. That's amazing for us. I don't even want to play this. I'm just going to... Well, although I should, because then if we draw a land next turn, we have Didn't Say and Paladin next turn. So, not an amazing bounce, but I'm going to use all our mana because it sets up a 2-play turn next turn. Keeper of Fables, strong, but there is our land to double spell this turn. It's going to make it hard for Oppo. This is no longer a good attack, but it's a good block to prevent the draw, so we'll only attack with our 6 in the air. Do I think that Planeswalkers, plural, will ever be balanced well, or that specific one? I mean... I assume you mean Planeswalkers, plural. I think there are plenty that are balanced well. Will they ever be balanced well again is a good question. And I think they will be, yeah. That was such a fast smash. I think Jay would let us play another one, right? We're gonna play another one. Yeah, just have more stuff that kills him. Although the real, one of the big problems with Planeswalker removal is that the best Planeswalkers get a card's worth of value the turn they enter. So I almost want to see a counter target Planeswalker loyalty ability and destroy the Planeswalker it came from. Then you're really getting them, you know? Well, we don't have any of our aggro, but the Witching Well sets up a scry that's nice, and if we do find one of our 2 animating fairies, we can really get our aggro on there. Yeah, basically a Teferi's response for Planeswalkers. Oh, no, that does, so, yeah. Speller ability opponent controls it targets a land. Oh, yeah, but yeah, just not target land. Teferi's response, but not with the land clause, right? Planeswalker Hate Bear. You gotta be careful, though, because they want Planeswalkers to be good. It's just a tough juggle. All right, that clock is a clock. I don't think we want either of these, though. We do want Lionlin's eventually, although maybe a 3-drop creature is okay here. We're going to play Midnight Clock, though. I'm just going to bin both of these and look for our better stuff. Hengewalker, who is just whatever. Curve filler, and we have something to fill that slot with. Uh-oh. Hey now, look at that. We did get there on Animating Fairy, so that'll be fun. But what won't be fun is getting Clovered out of this game. All right, not bad. Boom. On the play, this type of play is amazing. On the draw, they might be able to get defenses up pretty quick. Or they might just bake it into a pie. That happens too, because it does take away our card draw. Lovestruck Beast. Well, say night-night, beastie. I'm going to play the Sanctuary for no value, unfortunately, but pretty important to lock down this beast. Oh, wait. Shoot. Oh, there was value, but hold on. I'm going to cancel, make sure it's what we want to do. I was thinking this took 4, so it did enter untapped. Does that change what we want to do? We can play the Owl, but nah, it doesn't really. Okay, we're just going to charm it and go. Oven gets them a lot of food. And if they have some Forever Youngs or whatever, they can get that beast back. Of course, we still have more Charmed Sleeps waiting for it. Well, I guess we have a Charmed Sleep for that instead. If we draw a land, we get to clock and sleep on the same turn. That would be ideal. Yeah, Runaway would be nice, but since we don't have it, I think we just have to deal with the 7/7 while we can. And another Charm Sleep in hand, so we have all the sleeps. Of course, they get more food out of this eventually, but I still think, you know, it is what it is. A lot of mana there. And there's the Forever Young I was worried about. But we have yet another Charm Sleep for that. Maybe we'll find the land to do the play I was talking about last time, get the clock going, and still play the sleep. Oppo's going to be pretty annoyed by our next turn, I think. Yeah, we're a long ways off from actually killing them, given how busy their oven is going to be. Counter 3, that's not going to do it. Yeah, just going to continue the plan here. Yeah, Mike, I could take 5 to get the clock deployed, I suppose. I didn't. At least now, if we get that mythical island, we can clock and play Animating Fairy or hold up the Glare. Boy, that's a lot of food they got going on. I hope they don't come up with a major food combo, because they got effectively 7 food available to them right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if they wanted. Yeah, Troll King would be amazing. I kind of want to see it just because of how amazing it would be. All you can eat, Oppo. All you can eat. I guess they're playing to the F6 here. Alright, there's an island. We'll drop this, get our attack in, and then decide next steps. I don't know why they ate on their turn. Some people are impatient. I'm going to do this anyway. I'll do it so I don't forget. I mean, I do that with, like, Evolving Wild so I don't forget. But usually there might be more tools they would have to use food with here. I don't know. Hold up Fairy for Pump Adventure. You mean this one? Like, I don't know what you mean by pump, but we'll at least keep this. I do like keeping up the glare. They're done chumping, it looks like. Ah, countering Carver, sure. Yeah, I should have played Clock before combat to give us a counterspell option during combat that wouldn't then preclude the casting of the Clock. And we can do the add, right? Scavengers is okay here, but I don't see why we should go shields down on the counterspell. So I'm going to play Animating Fairy and leave up the counterspell again. I don't feel the need to do anything except continue this pressure and hold on the glare. I mean, I know they could counter cast something much bigger than the glare can counter, but I still want to see it. Oh, yeah. We can do Owl, too. I was just thinking of holding up the counter, but I suppose we can Owl here. We're not going to get to... We can empty before we get on 12. I don't think that's a problem. But this is reasonable. More food for Oppo, but we still get our ability. Of course, we whiff, but... Well... milled away three lands, so that's okay. Yeah, you're probably right, Mike. I was not thinking about my mana situation, so we could have had the counterspell for that. But I think we're doing great here. It's fine. We'll definitely do it after this game. So this is the last game that I'm going to play of this draft. I like hold up counterspell, hold up pumpkin, and increase clock if need be. This well has been a house. Moving castle, one might say. I believe Jay has modified... So we did no rare decks a couple weeks ago because the thinking was at the start of a format, people aren't going to have all the rares. What can we do with just commons and uncommons? So, oh yeah, that would be interesting. I don't think we even need to do that though, but... I just think if clock goes off, we win. Is Gambex considering the scoop? What's up, Gambex? I think I might just drop Scavengers, bounce the human, and get in so they can't chump the well. Yep, we can pump twice. It's not a tap ability. Is Oppo just... Have they already quit and discussed? It's possible. This is pretty disgusting. Yeah, I think we've been scooped upon with the bad manners. No? They just wanted to do that. Okay. We're at 9, goes to 10. We can totally do this on our next turn if we pumped it. I'm thinking 5 with 6. We can't hold up Sprite and do all this stuff. I'm going to scavenge. Gets a nice fat creature down. Yeah, they're just going to eat the human for some food here, but it does clear the way for the Witching Well and just adds so much power on board. Oh, I keep forgetting my clock mana, sorry. That's all right, I still like this play. I like getting the big dude out. I think they're running out of time to answer our attackers. I suppose if they have like a midnight, the whatever rider, like the rider could hurt the. If they kill 2 of our creatures here, that could be rough. But even then, I think we're fine. Like this, we're just so set. I'm having trouble coming up with the scenario where we lose this game. Well, that's absolutely what I was thinking, White Russian, but a legitimate point is that, you know, we could put a 3/3 on board with counter backup instead of just a 4/5 on board. So that was the thinking there, but pretty straightforward there. All right. Sometimes I've brought Jay on to talk about the decks before as I take a little break, but I'm actually super hungry. So what I actually need is a 5+ minute break to make some food. So I'm not going to bring Jay on yet, but I'm going to go to a be right back screen, and we'll bring Jay on for some constructed. YouTubers, thank you for hanging out with me for this partial video. I will try to follow up with a conclusion so you know how it ended. But that's all we're going to do for the draft video on this one. But it looks like a strong deck. We'll see if we can get to 7 on it.